Okay, so if there is a little bit of a glare on there, you may have to decide to possibly move so that you can get all of the material on here, okay? Because here is two different types of genetics occurring at the same time. The reason I say that is, well, you could say different types of traits. Yes, that's true. We're looking at that of flower color or on the petals, as well as that of whether it is tall or short. Okay? Because last week we talked about codominant crosses. That meaning that both traits.
Sorry.
That meaning that both traits are being expressed at the same time. So you would have two dominant traits. That's not the case here. It says incomplete dominant cross. Okay? So you can contrast that with what we consider a completely dominant cross between tall and short. Because at the end, it says tall is dominant over short. Okay? So once, if you choose to write this down, again, it is a choice. We can proceed then.
Yeah, you can. Put it up, Mark. Scrambling. If I could feel that.
So again, let me know once you have this down and or done so we can proceed.
Okay. That does a picture structure right here.
So again, if you're joining us at a later time. In flowers, a cross between purple, a purple color, and a white flower, okay? Purple flower, white flower results in a pink color. An incomplete dominant cross. If a purple heterozygous tall plant is crossed with a white short plant, what are the genotypical and phenotypical ratios? Now, here it's a little more clear, you could say, a little more familiar territory. Tall is dominant over short. Okay? So again, I'll let you process that information. So the best thing that you can do is what? Make this for yourself. A key. All right? So in this case, I think this marker, experienced that in chemistry class. It pretty much had it. So let's see here. Let me get some more of these types of markers. Looks like. Okay. So when we see an incomplete dominant cross, it's different than a complete dominant, okay? So what would you like to do for the purple color?
Purple. Capital P. Capital P.
Okay? Then, oh, not purple. Okay? Then what would you like to denote for the white petal color? Okay?
Lowercase p.
Now, what it says in this flower cross between purple and white means you get a heterozygous trait. And if you would like, you can do this, and then the only other result left is what? What does that say when this happens?
It makes pink.
You get pink, okay?
I said first.
Now, when, if this is such a competition, why don't you two come up here and explain this? Because,
Sounds like headache.
oh, okay, well, thanks.
I ain't too familiar.
You're let's say, trying to impress each other with who gets this done first. So if you get it done first, well then, come up here and explain this.
I just trying to impress no one.
Oh, okay. So then when you say it first, why do we say that? It's a competition, right?
He's a liar.
It's about a liar. It's a
Because
statement.
you're a liar, because I did it.
I say we just shut up so we can do the
The white plus 2 equals 3.
Okay. Can we proceed for the second time? Maybe third or fourth time. I don't know. All right. So when we look at this, again, it doesn't say a dominant over one trait is dominant over another. It says it's an incomplete dominant cross, because if this was a complete dominant cross, what would this look like, do you think?
Purple.
It would be purple. Why is that?
capital P is.
Because if that dominant trait is present in a completely dominant cross, it doesn't matter if that recessive trait is in there. It's going to be masked over.
All right,
Okay.
explain that again.
Okay. If this was a completely dominant cross, it doesn't matter that that recessive trait is in there. Okay? Because then this would appear purple because the dominant trait is there. Even though the recessive trait is there, it doesn't make this purple. It's a combination of the two. Okay? Now, I tried to explain the same thing but a different way. That front row, are we good so far? Second row?
Yep.
Third row?
Yep.
Okay. Then, when we look at this trait, it says that tall is dominant over short. You don't have to put all of these letters here. So, from prior knowledge, anytime a capital T is present, it's tall. If there are two lower T's, then what do we get?
I don't know.
Then, if there's one of each, it's going to be tall, because tall is dominant over short. It doesn't say that here with this coat color, or not coat color, I'm thinking of cattle. A petal color. Okay, so now that you've got your key, okay, purple, heterozygous, tall. What are our four alleles?
Purple, white, pink.
Capital
Oh my
P.
god.
Lower,
Purple,
Capital
white,
P.
tall, short.
Purple, white, tall.
capital
Okay, what was the question?
Okay,
How many different alleles?
what are our four alleles when we see purple, heterozygous, tall?
Capital P. Lowercase p.
Mm-mm.
Or capital again. Then lowercase.
Okay, there is our purple color denoted in our key.
Or heterozygous. So
It's heterozygous tall.
So it could be
So it's
Capital
big
T,
T,
lowercase
little
t.
t.
it would be
Capital T, lowercase t.
Okay, then it says is crossed with a white short plant. What are our four alleles when it's white and short?
lowercase.
Double lowercase p.
Lowercase t.
Oh my god.
Okay. So now you've got your parental generation here. You can proceed and do your cross. Okay? I'm just going to continue to use black because I think that shows up the best and it also erases the best. Actually, I'm going to move that down because it's too close to what we're illustrating there. Okay. I guess this is more interesting for some than others. Okay. Okay. So when we FOIL this out, what are our first two alleles over here?
Big P and T.
Big P, big T.
Big P, big T.
Outside.
That's
Inside. Big T.
big P, little.
Okay. Your first term, capital P, capital T. Your outside, capital P, lowercase t, just like what we have there. Your inside, capital P, capital T. Then your last, capital P, lowercase t. Okay? Then going across the top really doesn't matter because both alleles are the same for both trait.
Yeah.
Lowercase p, lowercase t.
Bro, you're taking background full.
So then notice when you're writing these P's out, it really doesn't matter whether they're big or short or small. When you put that line over the top, what is that telling you?
It's lowercase.
That's the recessive.
It's the recessive
So
one.
I
Okay.
could write like a capital A and then put that line over it?
What if you denote whatever key that you want?
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I'm gonna make the capital letter.
Okay? So perhaps you want to go ahead and get started with that.
I'm not the best at doing it.
Okay? Well,
I'm gonna do it without the.
So for like, you just take the two dominant ones? Yeah, I forgot to do that. I forgot to do how to do that.
okay. So remember, it's wherever these intersect.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if you can use some of this to your advantage, we already know if the parental phenotype, if the petals are purple on one parent and the petals on the other parent are white, are we going to see any purple flowers in here? You're correct. No. Are we going to see any white flowers in here?
No.
No. So 100% of the time,
Unless there's a
the petal is going to be what color?
Purple.
It's going to be pink. Okay? But we can't say for sure what the height is going to be. Okay? So, upon doing that, we already know that all of these are going to be pink. Okay? Because in each and every box, you're going to have a capital P and a lowercase p.
Quit with all that.
No, that's not straight. I'd watch yourself for what.
Okay? That leg got to be a little long there. Okay? Here's where we're going to get to see a little bit of differentiation. Okay? And sometimes you can see a pattern start to show up.
Do you guys have practice at school?
Oops.
No,
No, that means you get the bus down.
yeah, that means we're both practicing in the little gym.
Let's go.
That would not be fun.
Why? She had.
See what you can do next ball.
All right. So, what is the difference between a genotype and a phenotype? Yes, just tell me.
Phenotype is physical, genotype is genetics.
Okay, the genotype is what you actually see inside of each and every one of these combinations. Okay, now sometimes the problem with this is this all looks the same. I mean, if you were to stare at this long enough, your eyes are probably going to get tired of that. Okay, and it's all going to, like I said, just look the same. So, that is why having these lines over the top is so important. So then what we would suggest that you do is pick out a box. What is the genotype that we see here?
Capital P, lowercase p, capital T,
Capital P, lowercase t. Okay? So then, we see that once. Do we see that again? It's all the way across the top, isn't it?
Yep, and the second row.
That's what we said. That's why we said earlier you're gonna see a pattern start to show up here. So make sure that you keep track of all of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then we see the same thing here, right? Capital P, lowercase p, capital T, and lowercase t. Okay. So we've got 4. There's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we've done half of this already. Can we say the same for this line and this line?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. Okay, so just as good practice, just pick out a box. Capital P, lowercase p, then 2 lowercase t's. Okay? And capital P, lowercase p, 2 lowercase t's. Okay? And we see 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then do we say the same thing in this bottom row?
Yes.
Yes. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Did we miss?
No.
Did we miss a box? So each and every one of those has a purple mark in it.
Yes.
Okay? So now, again, this is which one? Genotype or phenotype? That's our genotype. Okay? So what would our physical characteristics be in our phenotype? I'll put that over here.
Pink and tall.
Okay? So out of 16, how many are pink and tall?
8.
Pink/tall. Said there were 8 of them.
Can you put the letter or the number?
Can you use a different color? There's a
Okay? So again, here is your results.
And the result is.
Okay, is there anything on your paper that you would like to ask? Oh, just getting them set up, or
I got a question.
yes?
So the genotype, is there always going to be 2, or is there always going to be more than 2? Or
Just so they add up to 4. Yes.
Do you have an extra copy? Because I don't even think I was there the day that we got that paper, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you left for.
So again, is there anything? We had a question. Yes.
Just wanted to double check the difference between heterozygous and, I don't know how to say that.
Homozygous?
Okay.
Homozygous is.
So let's say you're dealing with round. Okay. Okay? These two alleles are the same. What does that mean?
Both dominant.
It's dominant and also what? Homozygous, because they're the same. Okay? Are these the same alleles? No, so it's not homozygous, it's what? Heterozygous. These two alleles the same? Yes. Okay? So then it's homozygous what then? Recessive. That's right. Okay? Anything else? Yes. Yes. Yes.
Can we go with number 7?
Number 7. Okay? So what does number 7 say? So when we look at this at our key for number 7, 2 capital B's with no lines. What coat color is that?
Black.
Black or Angus. Okay? What happens if there's 2 lines over each?
Red and white face.
It's a red white face. Then what happens if there's 2 capital B's with only 1 line over it? Black white face. Okay. So then we know that the ball is a black white face. Okay? And then what does it say about horns? Doesn't have horns, right? So then what that would mean, get some of this out of here. Okay, and then what's the heifer for coat color?
I don't understand homo.
It's capital B's with,
We just went over that not too long ago.
I'm trying to comprehend it. I was in the ear, not the other.
Sorry.
the heifer is red white face with no, or with horns, or with no horns. So, yeah.
Okay, then does not have horns.
Heterozygous.
Okay, which means that is scurred. Okay, so then now you can go ahead and set up your cross. Yes.
So I did that, and then, like, it asked the questions where,
So out of 16, is it 2 out of 16, 4 out of 16, 8 out of 16? It may be. So you would put 5 out of 8, or I think that's 40%.
do I have to write the whole phenotype then?
No, it just says what are the chances. Okay, anything else?
What do we write in that top right corner for the genotype and phenotype? You probably said it, and I just.
We probably did. What do you mean the upper right hand corner?
So in the upper right, it just says genotype, and then backspace is phenotype, backspace.
Okay. Barring no more questions, rest of the time then is yours.